We live today in an age where the idea of freedom is often confused with the ability to do whatever one wants, whenever one wants, without restrictions. Many believe that being free means following every impulse, abandoning responsibilities whenever they become inconvenient, and always choosing the easiest, most pleasurable path. However, this is a distorted view of true freedom. Genuine freedom does not lie in giving in to each passing impulse, but rather in having the capacity to choose consciously, with clarity of purpose, even when momentary desires pull in another direction. Imagine two people, one who lives according to immediate pleasures, waking whenever they please, procrastinating, shirking obligations, and another who rises early, fulfills their promises, and pursues a life plan with sustained effort. At first glance, it may seem that the first person is freer, since they do whatever they want. But that person, in fact, has no real choice. They are enslaved by their own desires and conditioning, like a puppet of immediate gratification. The second person, on the other hand, truly can choose. They can opt to rest or to work, decide when to enjoy themselves, and when to hold themselves to a higher standard. That is genuine freedom. Discipline, then, is what liberates us. By resisting the urge to give in to comfort at every turn, we develop a rare power, the power to choose to act responsibly, to choose to strive for something greater, to choose to become a better person. This conscious decision-making, the willingness to forgo momentary relief in favor of a higher good, is the essence of Stoic freedom. The disciplined person, though they may face discomfort, is truly free. They master themselves. The person who surrenders to the vices of immediate pleasure may believe they are free, but in reality, they live enslaved by everything to which they cannot resist. Discipline is the central element that transforms good intentions into concrete results. At some point, we have all felt motivated to change something, to start exercising, quit a harmful habit, study with more focus, or create a personal project. However, no matter how genuine the initial desire, it often fades over time. And the reason for this is simple. The desire for change alone is not enough. What truly drives someone to achieve a goal is discipline. Discipline is the invisible force that keeps you going even when the initial enthusiasm disappears. It's what pushes us to act on difficult days, on days when we feel no motivation, and on days when any excuse would seem reasonable. Unlike motivation, which comes and goes, discipline is a continuous choice, a deliberate practice. It doesn't depend on your mood, environment, or circumstances. It depends on your real commitment to what matters. This ability to keep moving forward, even when every part of you wants to stop, is what separates dreamers from achievers. The difference between those who start and quit and those who start and finish isn't the strength of the initial desire, but the consistency of small daily actions. Disciplined people aren't necessarily more talented or smarter. They simply do what needs to be done, repeatedly, with effort, with constancy. Without discipline, goals remain in the realm of fantasy. With discipline, even the most unlikely dreams can become possible. It is, therefore, the most concrete pillar of personal growth. Those who master discipline master themselves, and those who master themselves are capable of changing any area of their lives. In the modern world, cultivating discipline has become an increasingly difficult task, not because humans have grown weaker, but because the environment around us has changed drastically. Today, we face a reality that, while comfortable and full of conveniences, is hostile to the development of discipline. This happens for two main reasons: the excess of temptations and the lack of real resistance in everyday life. The first reason is the constant bombardment of stimuli. Never before in history have we had such immediate access to easy pleasures. Social media, endless videos, food delivery, endless entertainment, notifications at every moment. Everything is designed to capture our attention, reward us with dopamine, and keep us distracted. Each of these distractions is, in itself, a small battle lost against discipline. The more we give in, the more we reprogram our brains to avoid effort, seek quick comfort, and flee from boredom or the discomfort necessary for growth. The second reason is that life has become too comfortable. And paradoxically, this excessive comfort weakens us. When everything is within a click's reach, when we don't need to exert effort to eat, move around, or gather information, we are losing valuable opportunities to strengthen our willpower. Discipline is like a muscle. If it's not challenged, it atrophies. Without resistance, there is no development. Seneca once said, "There is no one less fortunate than the man whom adversity has forgotten, for he has no chance to grow stronger." Thus, the modern world, while offering an easier life, also robs us of the small daily struggles that shape character. Being disciplined today requires more awareness than ever. We must swim against the current of excess, speed, and convenience, and it starts with a critical look at how much we surrender to instant gratification and how willing we are to challenge ourselves even when we are not forced to. Motivation is often seen as the key to achieving goals, but in reality, it is only the starting point, an initial fuel that by its nature is unstable and fleeting. It's common to wake up excited and full of drive one day, and the next feel discouraged or distracted. Relying solely on motivation is like trying to cross a river on a small raft that can capsize at any moment. This is where discipline steps in to make the difference. While motivation can be seen as the spark that lights the fire, discipline is the steady fuel that keeps the flame burning, even when enthusiasm fades. A disciplined person acts despite the lack of willpower, even when everything inside suggests giving up or procrastinating. Think of an elite athlete, a dedicated writer, or a successful entrepreneur. They rarely feel like training, writing, or working every day, but they know they must do these tasks to reach their goals. Motivation may help them start, but discipline keeps them steady on the path, pushing them forward even on the toughest days. Therefore, the big difference between those who achieve what they want and those who don't is the ability to keep going, to resist the temptations to relax or abandon commitments, even when motivation disappears. Discipline is that inner force that allows us to turn dreams into reality, because it doesn't depend on emotions or circumstances, but on a firm commitment to one's goal. The trap of instant gratification is everywhere and acts subtly. Social media offers likes and notifications within seconds. Streaming platforms release endless episodes. Food delivery apps bring irresistible flavors right to the doorstep. This immediate access to small doses of pleasure rewires our brain to always crave the easiest path, avoiding any discomfort or effort that doesn't provide instant reward. Dopamine, the pleasure neurotransmitter, becomes triggered by trivial and constant stimuli, creating subtle addictions that prevent us from developing the patience and perseverance needed for self-discipline. When we seek instant gratification, we give up facing boredom, frustration, and fatigue, precisely the moments that strengthen mental muscles like self-control and resilience. Each time we choose quick contentment over prolonged effort, we reinforce the habit of avoiding what requires willpower. This repeated avoidance makes bigger challenges seem unbearable because we haven't trained our minds to endure the discomfort inherent in growth. To escape this trap, it's necessary to recognize the mechanisms that draw us in: notifications, 5-second videos, flash sales, and set clear boundaries. Only then do we regain the power to postpone immediate pleasure in favor of greater and more lasting rewards. Training patience, practicing contemplation without external stimuli, and allowing controlled moments of boredom are effective strategies to reduce dependence on easy dopamine and gradually rebuild the focus and discipline needed for any meaningful transformation. The practice of discipline is, above all, a living expression of the Stoic principles of self-control, responsibility, and virtue. For Stoic thinkers like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, moral excellence does not arise by chance but from the deliberate habit of choosing what is right, even when it brings discomfort. By cultivating discipline, you internalize this ideal. It is not just about achieving practical goals. It is a daily exercise in strengthening character. Every time you resist an easy impulse, Every time you choose temporary renunciation in favor of a greater good, you are training your soul to value reason above passions. Living with discipline, in the light of Stoicism, means recognizing that we are truly free only when we govern our own desires. This inner freedom, earned through the effort to act according to virtue, creates a deep peace because we no longer depend on external factors to find satisfaction. By making discipline the foundation of your actions, you transform not just isolated habits but your entire worldview. You begin to see adversities as opportunities for moral growth, daily responsibilities as practices of wisdom, and understand that lasting happiness arises from the constant alignment between your values and your choices. Ultimately, Stoic discipline is the cornerstone of a full life. It allows you to be the author of your own journey, to maintain serenity in the face of ups and downs, and to build, day by day, a legacy of integrity and purpose. This is the supreme virtue, not theoretical virtue, but lived virtue, manifested in every small act of self-mastery and commitment to the good. And that's how we conclude another video on how discipline can transform your life. If you enjoyed these reflections, please leave a like so more people can discover this content and strengthen their own self-control. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Every week I bring new videos packed with practical philosophy and tips for living with more purpose and freedom. See you next time.